Give us $200, we'll play Freebird.
10 things flipping and popping.
And some fucker called his bluff.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ARTBOX. I am here today with DJ Everman, the Appalachian singer-songwriter of Ohio. How are you doing today, bud?
I'm doing just fine, my man. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just got up from myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually take naps when I get in at this age, but I didn't do it today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you said you just played a show yesterday? Or today?
No, it was Monday. It was a fundraiser for the laid back up there in Ayrton for I guess tornado or whatever came through and destroyed the place. So they went to raise money for the employees there.
Oh,
If they're
okay.
out of work, because they're going to be out of work, obviously.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, I haven't got to see like all the information about the area, but I know some places got hit real bad.
Yeah, it was like one of them weird storms. I guess it was almost like they called some sort of, had a name for it. It was like a straight line, something. Like some places were fine. I was at work when it happened. It was just a basic storm, but some places got destroyed here and there.
Yeah, we got pretty lucky. I actually had the windows open most of the day. I was looking to I kind of forgot when I woke up that that was gonna be the day because
Yeah,
we had the warnings. And yeah, it looked nasty out, but it was so calm over here. We got sprinkles, I think, for about 10 minutes for
yeah,
like a little storm, but yeah, man. God bless him. Good luck, man.
yeah.
I know I wouldn't know what to do. Like we were kind of plotting just in case we did get hit around here. I was like, babe, what's the best area in our house? Because we have a baby, we gotta just
Don't
think
have
of
a
like,
basement then.
right? No. Well, we're in the sub level of an apartment building, so we're kind of the basement.
Yeah.
But also, that sounds like a lot of stuff on top of us too.
Oh, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of weight sitting up there.
Yeah, that stuff is getting to me. But you gotta pre-plan these things just in
Oh,
case.
yeah, absolutely. We always had to stay well. We're in a house now. We've got a basement, but used to the wife was never a big fan of storms, so we always had to be like super prepared for whatever weather was happening.
I know when I was younger, I used to have to get into like if there was a storm. I remember our mom did it for us once. She put us in the hallway and we sat there with like snacks for like hours. At some point, like 2011, I think there was a real bad storm, and we went to the neighbor's house to go into their shelter. Waited that out. I don't think anything happened at that point either, but
Prepared.
yeah. Well, now I've talked your head off a little bit about the storm. Can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is DJ Everman from right here in Portsmouth. We're up here. Singer-songwriter, even though it's more of a recent, despite this gray beard, I guess I'm about 8 years into music, but really only started focusing on what I'm doing now probably just about a couple years ago. So I had a lot of stage fright and stuff. So yeah, I just slowly worked my way into it. So a lot of people see this in my age and think I've been doing this the whole time, but I most definitely have been doing this all these years.
I don't question you about your age, but I seen your videos and I was like, I don't know how. I mean, it's kind of mysterious to me. Silver dude around here, you know.
Well, I always tell people I look like the Burger King king. I get this big giant head and the beard don't do me no favors. So.
Yeah. Well, you got the whole look of the Appalachian singer-songwriter, dude. It kind of comes together.
Oh yeah, well, you gotta you gotta have a hat because I barely got any hair on top. I'm thinking I'm gonna start capitalizing, maybe become singing Santa or something like that.
I actually started wearing a hat because, dude, I grew my hair out really long. I don't really know what to do. I guess I'll reveal it on the pod, dude.
If I had it, I would not even be wearing a hat. See, if I had that, there's no chance I'd have a hat on. Rock that while you got it.
Well, it's
I should have had.
it's hard to maintain. I thought I was going back to something youthful like my skateboarding days, and now I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck to do with it.
Yeah, that'll work involved.
Yeah, so like I just cut my hair for like the past like 6 years actually myself. I just clip it up, and I think the style that's drawn on Dr. T. Neal is like this style I cut it as.
Most of the wife cut mine. Now, when I did start playing music, I did start going to a local barber because just doing drywall, it didn't matter what my hair looked like. I was throwing a hat on anyway, so the wife just cut it. She did it fine. It's fine. She's back to doing it now because I just wear a hat all the time now and got bald enough to where, I mean, there's a little bit of hair still up there, but I don't even know if that's hair. I call it wispy. It's like,
That's the
I don't know.
that's my plan, dude. I may just go like full Jason Statham, and just try to bald it out. What's the
Yeah.
job?
I've always thought about that, what I do, but then it seems like the closer I get to bald, start getting these weird bumps up on my head. So I don't know if I'm gonna have dips and dives and stuff. So I think just hat is where I've got to go.
That's a good song right there, dude. Dips and dives.
Okay. I'll make a note of that for sure.
I haven't gotten to go to any of the recent shows, but how did we meet? Was it
Well, it was actually I think the first time I came in and talked to you was actually at a Suite of Die Hard at the museum.
okay?
It was just, and I tend to like hide in the back. I'm not like aggressive coming up talking. I just went up to you guys and say good time. But I think like talking, I think it was mostly kind of through some social media posts, for each supporting each other. And then I think, was it down there at the Art Walk maybe that we actually, trying to think when we actually talked maybe.
This is actually the first time we've had a full discussion
Oh
for
yeah,
any
for
for
sure.
anybody listening. But
Yeah.
I know I knew who you were when you approached us while we were filming on the street, so I already knew how to talk to you by name. I was
Oh
like, "Hey,
yeah.
DJ."
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think you're right about the screening, and then I had just got comfortable with you online. I seen
Yeah.
you were very active and very serious about your music. I think you just said you were uh, these past few years really getting into the groove of things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's probably why I've seen so much of you the past couple of years now.
Yeah. I'm trying to trying to learn how to do the whole social media and be aggressive with it. And I still don't do it nearly as much as I could be doing it, but we know that's just how it has to be, especially in the area we're from. It's a smaller area, so you got to capitalize on all the social media stuff you can do for sure.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn a lot of them. A lot like my zone within videography, things like that. I still haven't nailed any short form content for myself. I've backtracked a lot of them, but eventually I'll get that. And same with other people, man. It takes time.
Yeah,
Definitely
yeah, figured
does.
out. I got to get comfortable with just the technology. It ain't really the hardware; it's always the software. My kids always think I'm a fairly intelligent guy until they see me try to type or something like that.
I
And,
know my daughter's gonna do the same thing to me once she gets there, man. She's only
yeah,
2 now, but she's already showing me up. She's so smart.
yeah, yeah,
Uh, uh, I was looking at some of your music earlier, and you've got a good bit on there already uploaded so far. I know you want to do some more.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
what are, and you can go any route you want with this, but what or who are some of your musical inspirations that kind of add to your sound?
Uh, Well, I do tell people I've heard probably the least amount of music of any musician but I definitely have a bunch of influences. It's if I, the genesis of starting to play music at all when we was young was, I mean, it was probably something like Appetite for Destruction and Willie Nelson or something. I grew up in a house with mom. The parents were together, so it was like one house was pop and
Hmm.
rock through my brother. Then dad, it was all George Jones and Willie Nelson and Johnny Cash and I just love all that stuff. Prince. So like inspiration, just specifically musically, I guess at my age too, you'd get to like the Nirvana range and Dwight Yoakam. They were all about the same time frame. So I get just this weird mix of, I don't know what the heck. Like, I didn't know what to call the stuff I was writing for a long time. I was like, I don't know what this is. It's not really country. It's not really rock. Then they started saying Americana. I started hearing that. I was like, I guess it's in that, which is, almost a catch-all for everything. It's like, I guess it
Yeah.
falls into Americana.
Yeah, I think folk might be about the same. I'm hearing
Yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of
yeah,
things get lumped in there.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
the catch-all for everything.
That's kind of some of how like my music listening developed in the household. I grew up with a lot of CCR, Leonard Skinner, um just so many I can't think of. Rat,
Oh yeah,
Motley Crue. And
yeah.
then
I was good crew.
yeah, Crue's awesome. Uh my mom started mixing in like a little bit of the hip hop and pop. And then I think about the time I was actually like 16, I started looking like into more of like the online music streaming and stuff. Back then there was things like Groove Shark, and then there was one called playlist.com, I think, that people would put on their MySpace pages. That was that playlist that people would put on there with music.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So he was that
Blast
that
from the
time for what's
past.
the early aughts or something, I guess, probably something like that.
Yeah.
Mid aughts.
Yeah. I was gonna say probably like 2009, I'd say.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's when I started finding a lot of hip hop on my own, and so MCR was really big at the time. Uh,
Oh,
so
okay, yeah.
yeah, I started.
Took me a second there. I was just old enough. NCR took me a second. Like, oh, okay, because I
Oh,
never
my
really
bad.
did again. I haven't listened to a lot of them guys, so like I knew who they was. I didn't know enough to know who you was talking about.
Yeah, My Chemical Romance. My bad.
Yeah,
I've clearly I was a bit of an emo kid. I enjoyed it a good bit.
I, I remember seeing some of the stuff you use for your and some of your like promo and stuff. It's older footage or something.
Someone else brought that up while we were skating. Austin from the last podcast. He's like, "What kind of music did you used to listen to in high school?" This was while we were just skating. I was like, "My Chemical Romance." He's like, "Oh, I figured that. I saw the pictures of you in the documentary." I was like,
Yeah,
I tried to hide a little bit of that. There's
yeah.
way worse. There's me in like
Oh,
full Jack Skellington bro and everything.
oh yeah,
But it sounds like we both we're a bit of an age difference, but we also draw music inspirations from a lot of areas.
yeah. All over the place. I mean, even you used to say hip hop. I was like when I was young, I wasn't big into it other than some hits, some MC Young or this and that. But not really till I like Cypress Hill, but Black Sunday. But there really wasn't into much rap until probably late '90s. I kind of got into it more like Outkast and kind of stuff.
Like Outkast, yeah, it's good
Yeah, the
stuff.
Roots and all them guys. Yeah, his
Well,
first the Graduate album, anyways. That was or College Dropout.
mhm.
Graduate the movie. Yeah,
um, we're about to talk about creativity in music, and I think there's a good mashup in what we were just talking about is uh someone who kind of looks like you, Rick Rubin, a little bit.
yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
know
But we got the same hair too, I think, on top.
yeah. Um, directed the music video for Aerosmith and Run DMC's Walk This Way, a
Yep, absolutely.
collaboration of hip hop and rock and roll, man. Um, what are some like the most creative things that you can think of from music that really inspire you more than just people or genres? Like maybe there was an event or um, something like an example for me would be OK Go has music videos that are insane.
Yeah,
I'll probably get this wrong. They're called Rube Goldberg mechanisms, and it's like one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another, and it's a series of huge interactions to do one small task, like turn on a light bulb. But it takes like 20 minutes because it's like 10 things flipping and popping and sliding, and then the light finally turns on.
yeah.
And
Is
that's
he talking
like
about like the actual visual art of it, or like the sound, like a soundscape? See,
yeah,
visually, I mean,
I'd say it's the combination of how they do that in the videos
yeah,
with their music that really inspires me to be like, every time I see one of their music videos, I want to go make something with music and visuals.
gotcha. Yeah, I'm so yeah, young. It was definitely, dude. Um, man, it's hard for me to pick up just a video that I was never really a big video guy. Back then I did, but it was, it was just more about the music, and then a lot of the comedy stuff was visuals. I mean, music I put more because like Rage Against the Machine's one of all time favorites, like Tom Morello's playing, but they didn't necessarily do wild video, real
Yeah.
artistic video. Now I love that old Jamiroquai video. Like there was definitely ones I'm trying to think of ones actual videos I enjoyed. The one of the first videos I could ever remember was which I guess would still be a cool video, was old Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. You Got Lucky.
Oh
Like
yeah.
where they find that old shut down like video uh, gameplays.
Oh
They're
yeah.
cool ones.
Um, it doesn't have to necessarily be a music video. Have you been to, was there any like show, like concerts or anything that you went to growing up?
Oh, that were yeah. I mean, I was a big Kiss fan, so yeah, I got to go, and
Yeah. Okay. I
they
love
would.
Kiss.
Yeah, that was my first real concert. I've been to three Kiss ones back before they put the makeup back on. Then back on. So yeah, I'm a big Kiss guy. Yeah, yeah. I almost had the Kiss album hanging up behind me, but talking all over. But yeah, I grew up a big Kiss guy. So all the showmanship that comes along with that.
Nice. Yeah. Oh yeah. I've only gotten to see a tribute band of Kiss live. Their name was called
Yeah,
Strutter. I don't
yeah.
know if
So
they
I
still
say
perform. Oh yeah.
they, yeah, I think so. I mean, I ain't seen them, but they're the one I can always think of. Strutter.
Yeah, they did the full thing as far as I know.
Yeah,
It felt like
yeah.
it. They had the stage and they had the suits and then there's pyrotechnics and stuff. And
Oh yeah.
I was in a good space. I felt like I had just seen Kiss.
Yeah, yeah. The first time I went and seen him was '92. I think I was like beginning of my freshman year, and my brother took me, who was not a Kiss fan, but he was like 6 years older than me. He's like another parent to me, really, and he took me down there begrudgingly. He's the one who bought tickets. He would take his little brother to the show, but even him afterwards, he was like, he wasn't anything but put on a good show. That pull out all the stops for you.
I've seen one band during I think I went and seen Motion City Soundtrack at Shawnee State, and there was another band called OK Goodbye, I think. And something creative they did. I'm not sure. I wasn't in the loop of their fans to probably know what this is. Like they came out on stage in like fish suits, not like not like a real fish, like gross and smelly and slimy and
Yeah,
stuff. But that would have been dope. That's probably more of a Guar thing. But
yeah. Artistic freedom there, big time with that.
yeah, they came out in these big felt like cosplayish like fish, and I don't know. That seemed pretty creative.
Just
I
perform the
know.
whole way, all time like that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool.
Have you ever heard of Mark Rebier?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah, that guy's really creative.
absolutely.
Like I'm
He
real
does all that
envious.
improv.
Yeah, real envious of how he can just come up off top of the dome with that stuff.
Yeah,
My
he's just super talented dude for sure. I mean, he's just mega talented.
Yeah. Yeah, the way he busts out chords from different like genres, like flip a genre like in the next track, no problem.
Yeah,
It's wild. My zone of expertise, I would say, within music is percussion. I don't know if you knew this about me.
yeah,
I,
I did. Yep.
I was in marching band for about 4 years, and then played drums for a lot of bands around here. And then lately, that's kind of just down to me sticking with my daughter here at home, just messing around. But I play a lot of guitar and piano as well. We've been getting into a good bit of piano because it's just well, it's a keyboard. It's easy to just pull out and play around with. And I've
Yeah.
actually learned a lot on it recently. I need to
Hey,
get back into it.
say you already got your thing set up for content shoot. Might as well be putting that stuff out there. And you got to be careful telling people you drum. The drummers are the rarest of creatures around here. Most drummers have to play in like 8 bands.
Usually, the requirement for me to join was just like they'd be like, "Hey, you want to play drums?" Any opportunity, I would say yes. Do you have a
Yeah,
drum? Do you have a drum set?
yeah. Yes, I play. Give me some drums.
Yeah, if they have the drums, then I was able to play. But so far, I haven't. I was about 21, and I played. I think one of my last shows down at Tracy Park. I had an art table set out in the field as well. This was my first art table ever, and we played our show. We got an encore for another song, and we actually did play Freebird as a like it was
Oh,
kind of yeah, it was the joke. He was real into it. Steven Adams.
I was wondering if that's who it was when you said that.
Yeah, yeah. Steven
I heard
Adams
it
was
probably
our
Steven.
guitarist. Yeah, I just barely heard it. I didn't know it was an encore because I went back to my table And then I hear Steven playing Freebird up there, and then he yelled for me. He's like, Travis, come back to the stage. I was like, okay, we're gonna play Freebird, I guess.
Yeah, we'll get to. No, my only Freebird story is we were down I guess that was last year, might have been the year before, down in Gatlinburg, played at Old Red, where I played bass and do harmonies with Josh Brown, Hard Lived Legends, and
Nice.
some guy offered people, obviously people, especially in the country band, they holler. It's just always. So he always tell people like, well, if you give us $200, we'll play Freebird. And some fucker called his bluff and dropped $200 in the tip. So I had to walk over to get the rest of them all knew it. I've never had to play Freebird, never learned it. I love Skinner, but wasn't really necessarily a Freebird guy because it was always so overplayed. And
Yeah.
I walked over to the guitar player and he said he'll turn and open up to me, tell me what the progression was. And so we played some version of Freebird for an extra $50 a piece. You know.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, I know you have the ear to get in the pocket, I'm sure, so.
And my eyes are still good enough. I can see. I can at least see what stands are doing.
Right, yeah, you don't actually have to hear it. If you can see the
Yeah,
note, you can
yeah,
hit the note.
yeah.
Well, it was about that show, I would say that I was kind of like, well, I actually made a couple sales at my table. I think I made $40. I sold four prints. And that was amazing to me. I was like, I think I'm gonna sink into art a little more than music. And so kind of it's been about 10 years since I took that divergent path from music, but I still play a
Yeah,
lot at home just for the
yeah,
hell of it.
yeah, yeah. It's different, and there are obviously the rest of it, and you know, we're just in a small area too, so it just makes it harder for all the stuff. It was good
Yeah.
that you was inspired to realize, oh, maybe I can absolutely do this. You know,
Yeah.
sorry for
Yeah.
wiping the nose here, but my sinuses are wrecked.
Yeah. For anybody listening, yeah, DJ's a little under the weather at the moment. That storm
Not on,
storm barely
not on
grazed him.
anything.
um well, now we've talked a little bit about little influences and people and places and videos that kind of change our creative routes. Um, how do you personally write a song? I know a lot of folks who get into music, maybe they'll hit an art block, maybe they just need some guidance or some tips. But we can start from the beginning of like blank slate. Let's write a song. How do you write a song, DJ?
Well, I've never really co-written, so yeah, this is usually just a one-man thing, and it's for me most of the time. I mean, it's art. It's an art form, so I try to improve and try different things. Basically, for me, it's I'll be sitting around jamming on the guitar, and I'll come across the progression, starting to play a progression, catches my ear that I like. And what I learned to do as I've gotten older is as soon as I get an idea, I record it. It might be garbage when I go back to it or whatever, but um, then I'll just keep playing through them progressions, try to find some other changes in it that work, and then I'll just start humming like melodies or lyrics generally, or like the last step for me. But I have been trying to change that a little bit and try to be more right about some specifics, and I'm not necessarily write the words first because I always feel like I don't want. I won't even. I usually even when I come up with melodies, I'll record my guitar parts once I get it, and then I'll figure out my melody over top of it because I also feel like you're limiting yourself with your melodies if you're trying to just because it's easy to sing along in certain ways when you're with certain chords. So I wanted to take that out of the equation, and that way, whatever melody I come up with, it's just what I came up with. Now my hands and mouth are going to have to learn to work together on it.
Yeah,
But
there's a certain point where those so you'll come across a progression that you like, and then for me, when it comes to the melody, I kind of always did a lot of like word vomit, you know, play around with the syllables that come out of your mouth, and then once you hear the word that hits you right, you're like, oh, and then you build the
yeah,
phrase, and then
yeah,
and
absolutely,
that's the point where your melody and your chords are coming together, and
yeah,
you can start laying actual words down.
yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, I
Nice.
always felt like my stuff was like more vague at times because I never really considered myself a good writer. I think I'm a decent singer and good melodies and stuff. But writing, I always felt was kind of weaker for me in the fact that I feel like I'm not really a long talker or bull crapper in a way, you know what I mean? So I get to the point almost too quick. It's like,
Oh,
I feel like I get one good verse and a good chorus, and I almost already said everything I need to say in that song, and I had to figure out a way to take a longer time to get to the crescendo there. We had
funny
to
and
slow down, put a little more details. It was,
yeah. Funny enough, I think doing YouTube videos could probably help me figure that out because it helps you flesh out a little bit of bull crap.
yeah, yep,
It's storytelling is what it is. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. With a little bit of live stuff we've been doing, that's really what part of it was for me, just to learn how to talk and like kind of take my time and get comfortable just doing it, which even helps with my writing and stuff too.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes if like the last podcast I did, I was very nervous. I felt like I started rushing into things, but then I it turns out I wasn't. Focusing on what I'm saying is a little more important.
Yeah,
And I was able to it's helped me like doing the videos and the podcast has helped me keep my thoughts from A to B and then to C instead of going A, C, double back to B.
I struggle with that.
Yeah,
I'll take a million branches off and not know where the hell I started at some point.
right. Well, the good thing about this podcast, basically, there's no structure. There's it's mainly about getting to some of the tips that people might need and getting to know you because a lot of people in the area might not know you either personally or they might not know your music even, and this gives them a window to both of them, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it is.
Um,
I bring this up, but I get a kick out of people think my name is a stage name.
oh
When
yeah,
I started finally doing solo shows, yeah, I've had. I mean, it just happened again recently that people don't know if it's my real name. They think I'm like when they see the name. One person told me the show they thought there was like a DJ. They thought I was DJ Everman,
aka
and then
DJ Everyman.
yeah, so yeah, it's like no, that's my name, Daniel Jason. They've called me DJ as far back as my mind memory goes. But yeah, so I get a kick. I used to get when I first got on social media. I was late to that game. It was probably 2011 or something. I was never on MySpace or nothing. I just first thing I was on was Facebook, and back before they had business pages and all that. So I would get these requests from all these different clubs and stuff because I had like my goofy poker glasses on in my profile picture, so I probably looked like a freaking DJ. And I would get requests, people thinking I was that type of DJ.
The name is also like I know it's just your name, but it's so clean and presentable. Um,
Yeah,
like I when I see it through like the promotional stuff you guys do with like posters and things like that, I'm like it sounds like somebody out of town.
yeah, yeah.
But I hadn't considered the DJ part of it, dude.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. It's, it will continue to be, I'm sure. But I get a kick out of it.
So,
Good little story to always tell.
so you don't do any DJing, but do you play in other instruments other than guitar? I know you play guitar, and we just heard you played bass.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely toy around. I could probably do some classic rock on drums and you know do some pad work on keys, but not really like
Nice.
social intents there. Social intents here locally. The first when I first started playing with them, it was the question he asked me was, "Do you play keys?"
Oh, I think
I
I
said
read.
no. I said no. He said, "Do you want to?" So I played one show in my life. I was actually on keys just one time because then the other guitar player left, so I just took over his spot. But yeah, I played one show on keys and just did some pad work and all that.
Nice. Yeah,
So
I'm not. I'm definitely not fluent enough to jump in on keys. That's for sure. I'm fluent on like guitar and then drums, and that's it.
yeah,
But it's always interesting to know if like I know you hang out with some of the Wistmans and they have like mandolins and you never know what instruments people are into.
uh, and that family's just, I mean, they're just all amazing, and I think all of them played almost everything. I mean,
Right.
yeah,
One of the first bands I was in was actually started in their house. uh,
awesome, awesome, awesome.
I got to use Jason's drums for that, and they taught us like how to record it. There was a guy out back who recorded and stuff. That was pretty cool for being like 16. Like,
Well,
it was,
usually in a good environment there too. And if you're at the Whistlands, you were in a good place to get
yeah,
creative and play music and stuff. I was always kind of, I was still so backwards young because we grew up right around the corner from each other. And we wasn't like super close. We hung out a little bit there, like late high school. But like Jason was a year behind me, John was a year ahead of me. But I always remember like anytime I could go down there and hang out. That's why actually where I first met one of my dear friends, Bobby Hunt, was down there, seeing him drum. That was an old house. They used to have ferrets and stuff like that, and before they moved into the one up on them. But it's a great family. I adore all of them. I adore all of them.
there's a lot of like crossing paths of musicians here in Portsmouth, Ohio. It's wild.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Um, Speaking of some of the events you went to, and you failed to be a DJ. How did you get those gigs? How do you get paid music work? At least if we're just talking about gigs, I know social media content. That's a different aspect.
yeah.
But I know you've been paid for gigs for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like for doing what I'm doing, if I'm the front guy in a project and we're getting paid, it's
And you don't have to tell us numbers or anything, or
oh no,
before we
I
get
actually
into it.
am big on. I'm actually big on. I would love for all of us to share our numbers on the money. That way, we can all help each other
Hell yeah,
make money. I think too many people are secretive about that detail,
yeah.
but I think it should all be. I'd put it out there. I don't care what everybody pays because that just helps the next guy not undersell himself.
Yeah, look out for each
Um,
other. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it should be. It shouldn't be that hard to do. But like getting the gigs, it's what I found. If they don't buy it on like a social media, they don't know you from Adam. You just go to if the place you want to play, hit up their open mic or what I'm big into now, which I like way better than open mics, is those all over the place. It's like singer songwriter showcases.
Oh yeah.
Those are I've met so many great people, and then you play in front of those people, then you said they like you. They're not good enough that they generalize you. Then you get a book a gig and go from there.
Is that kind of like the landing that we have in town? Is that what you're talking about? Something like a lounge that showcases people, or
Well, those two, but no, it'll be like
somebody has to put that, yeah,
it should be
together.
restaurant. Yeah, different. Yeah, there's different types of them. I've done them from the listening rooms to barbecue joints that have songwriter rounds.
Nice. I took a lot of um definitely with music even and artwork. I took a lot of like free stuff first. If that's your route, you don't have to, for beginners, but like that's a good way to get your name circulating.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You just get on what you can get on. I mean, and especially around here where we're at, like there's not a lot of paying gigs if you're not
yeah,
playing the clubs or something like that. We got
yeah.
Stein, Port City, and the Landing now, but not a lot outside of those that are. But if you're not, a Legion or Eagles, something like that.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of bars and a lot of clubs, festivals. I look forward to a lot of local ones, but they're very sparse. So you kind of have to
Yeah,
look outside of your area for,
yeah,
um, you got to find out who's in charge of those events. Like
yeah,
usually if somebody asks, I'll get a lot of questions about, especially if I'm involved in an event since I wear so many hats, I'll be like, oh no, I'm actually doing videography at the event, but someone will get a hold of me for playing. And I'll be like, you need to get a hold of so and so. It all works out. Just reach out to somebody at least that you know's involved in the event and they can start talking to somebody.
yeah, yeah. If somebody knows you can, definitely put a word in for you. If they got pages nowadays, you shoot them whatever links you can. I find, I got some fellow people to help me, like Dakota does, makes my videos and stuff. But
Hmm.
like link trees, get your link trees, shoot these people, and it seems
Yeah.
to be working good. Now, I ain't been real aggressive about booking stuff because I'm always like never sure what I'm going for. But speaking of like local festival stuff, this Saturday we're going to be at the Awakening Expo up here in Piketon,
The
right down
Awakening
southwest.
Expo.
Yeah, it's kind of like a hippie type of a festival. It's fun. We played it last fall, and it's really fun.
Yeah, a lot of like herbals and spiritual type stuff.
All the herbals.
All of the herbals, all of the spirituals. They're all there, dude. Hell yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Get that chi right, brother. That's gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm about it, you know. I dig it. I like
Yeah.
a good energy and a good vibe.
It was real fun. It was all good laid back people. It's a good time to be around folks like that, where you don't feel like you're on edge. Watching your back the whole time. You get plenty of those places where you're just like, I got to be really hyper aware tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of being hyper aware during an event, what was your do you have a memorable first gig? What was that like?
It's hilarious. The tape still exists, and I want to get it put over onto DVD because I
That'd be
want those
awesome.
cribs watching it. But I can very specifically remember my first gig. It was a battle of the bands at East High School, like November of '93. That's what would I have been? 93, so 15. That was like the first show for Goat Fudge and stuff too. I was in a band. Me and my best friend Ricky were in a band. We were both 15, but everybody else in that band was like 20, 21, 22.
Huh.
He was a singer. I just played bass. I didn't sing or nothing back then. Too terrified. But I only looked up once. We always got the biggest kick out of watching. That's why I quit at some point, which we can get into. But that very first gig was us hillbillies showing up here to playing this kind of, I wouldn't say straight up 80s. Sounds kind of how much you call it, like a '90s version of '80s music in a way. It wasn't like all hair makeup and stuff. But
It was a little
even though the
distorted.
drummer drummer horrified us. He did not practice with electric kit and all this and that. So that was his one and only gig with us, and we're all still close. But the day of the gig, he shows up with electric drums, and these are '80s electric drums, so they're do 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 do,
Yeah.
with a wig on. He has a freaking wig on, big long, horrible looking blonde wig. And then we got to get up on stage. So I'm horrified because I don't know all these people I actually go to school with at this time. It's the Wismans are there. It's a lot of people I'm buddies with. So I'm like in a way embarrassed that I'm up here playing what we're playing that particular day. But I just stare at my hands. There's one time in the video you can see me kind of look out to the crowd. There was a good turnout, and I just looked back down and stayed terrified. We went so over the top that at the end, the guy that actually ran the band, which was the guitar player, he had a piece of wood he slid out and he smashed a guitar on stage. It was
Damn.
it was the experience. It was yeah. So it was definitely a memorable one for me, that first one.
Nice. Yeah. Uh, I was really nervous for mine. I got to play at I think it was Grindhouse. It was a skate shop here in town a
Yeah.
long time ago, and it was across from Kroger, and they had a skate park outside, like hand built like stuff for years. And one year they decided to have a show, and we played on the mini ramp, so that was kind of cool. And I was nervous as hell, but I know our singer, it was a completely disorganized band, completely unprepared. It was the one that we worked on through the Wismans, and then like I couldn't show up for like 3 practices, and then I come back and there's like some girl singer who couldn't sing, unfortunately. It was very tone deaf stuff, but like nobody like really knew, very young. Uh Looking
How
back
old
on
was
it.
you?
Oh, I was like 16, 15.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about the same for me. Yeah.
Man, I
Terrified.
went.
It was absolutely terrified. I remember my hands freezing. I can still remember the shoes I had on, some calico looking freaking British Knights or something I had on.
Yeah. We switched the bassist took over vocals for like the songs I was playing drums on, and then he kind of knew how drums worked, kind of knew how they like he played the rhythm, so that worked out luckily. But we
Yeah.
switched for cover an Ice Ice Baby. I vocalized that. Uh don't want to talk about it. Dude, we played a series of punk songs. One of them was a cover of "In League with Satan," and then followed up by "Ice Ice Baby."
I can tell you was cutting your teeth at the Wismans
Yeah, yeah, that was
to be
their
that eclectic. But yeah, yeah.
that was um their suggestion, and they taught us that song.
Yeah, well, yeah, that surprised me at all.
Yeah,
Who was in that band with you then?
it
Was
was
it somebody
me.
else from there?
It was me, friend Christian Payne, and Jesse Turvey. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I know Jesse. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I ain't
I
seen
think
him forever, but I know him.
I think he was. Yeah, he was in that band. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was in that band. I was also in a band with him, like 10 years ago too. Called the High Vals. I was the drummer for the High
I've
Vals.
Okay, I've seen like people pull out old like posters and stuff of like local shows, and I've seen that name, didn't know who it was. That was probably right before I kind of got started doing this. So yeah,
Yeah, it was a short window, and that's kind of about the time where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do artwork. I don't
yeah,
know. I was going through a lot back then. I had just done a couple years of college, and I was drinking real bad back then because I just turned 21.
yeah.
I could go to the bar anytime I wanted to, and
And I'm allowed. Yeah,
the music was plentiful, though. I could tell you that. If I look back on the times, I remember hearing it all the time or playing it all the time. Anytime I was drinking, I had a guitar in my hand. You couldn't stop me. But that's a bad route to go, though. If you you don't want to you don't want to have those things paired together.
yeah. It was. I didn't actually start really drinking until about 3 years ago. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't want to drink much young. It probably would have been an issue.
Yeah, it was like just one of those getting a grasp on those inhibitions, being young and visiting new locations and
Yeah,
um yeah, like anytime I would think I didn't want to I'm like, oh, I don't want to drink or anything, I'd end up drinking the bar, dude. I'd flip on a dime anytime I saw like fun started happening. I don't even know. I It's a little bit blurry, but now I've got a brain on my on my shoulders.
yeah,
But
yeah. I wasn't like non. When I say I didn't drink, I wasn't doing nothing. I mean, I didn't do hard stuff, but I was definitely always a smoker. The other type of fun you can have. That just locks me up. Though I can't smoke and then go sing and play. I get
yeah.
I get to a shell then.
You're like, I'd rather just watch at this point.
Yeah, I'm terrified now. What do
uh
you mean talking to the microphone?
yeah. A lot of those events, and we all have our social experiences. They vary, but they definitely have introduced me to a lot of the community. A lot of names that we just brought up during this podcast, I actually knew, just from I guess being in the same area for so long, but being into other creatives. And that's
Yeah,
kind of where,
absolutely.
yeah, that's where I'm seeing some of the consistencies is like I was going to where like a lot of the creative fun was.
Yeah,
And that kind of leads us into the next topic, which is I just want to discuss different ways and tips to help support people in the community, other creatives, if you have
yeah.
any advice on that.
Well, just from the little bit that I have done here, for me it was either I remember early on, being friends with me on social media. Now you see I share a lot of stuff. I support a lot of people. I didn't do that at first. I was a little backwards about it because I almost felt like you was trying to prove something. I'm not a good solicitor, so I'm not good at. I can't sell myself hardly. So I just didn't really think about it. Then actually, one of the people you'll also appreciate this. One of the people I took the lead from is one of the first shows I played. Old Gary Shaw had to play bass, and he um he was always so supportive of everybody. And I forgot what he told me sometimes. It was just about him trying to support. So I actually kind of went from that. What I do now, I was telling him what just the other day, like it was kind of the genesis of what I'm doing now, sport wise. It come kind of from Gary, really.
Nice.
And, but how we help each other, it's really like, share, comment, all these things. It's easy to do. I don't, some people, I mean, I get there could be a hang up on like share stuff. Because I was like that at one point. I was like, oh, I don't want to bug nobody, or I don't want to, or I felt like I had to watch everything that I shared. And it was like, well, I'll get back to it, but I'm just going to share it because I'm going to
I'd like
support the scene.
I'd like to comment on that part. I like that because not even that it needed to be discussed, but you put it up front. You said, in one of your posts, it was like, look, I don't technically get to watch all of these, but I
Yes.
am trying to get eyes on other people. It's not
Yeah.
about me, it's not.
Yeah.
And so, like, I mean, I guess you could run into some things like that could be bad. Like, what if you shared like a song that was like,
I've had someone brought it up when I was in Lexington a while back. It's like, do you see that one video that they were like talking about being able to walk on water? It's like, oh, I didn't. So, yeah, you
okay,
can maybe run into a situation you wasn't considering.
yeah, I guess you get more positive moments out of it than bad ones, though.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
because my philosophy was just like it don't matter if I like it or not. Someone might, you know what I mean? Like it's, but yeah, that's the only one I know of for sure. Now I've had here. I mean, I'll be straight. I won't name no names. I've had people say, friends say, "Hey, did you watch whatever blah 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 that you shared?" No, I didn't see it. Well, you shared it. It was garbage. Why'd you share it? It's like, man, it ain't to me to decide. I'm not the decider here. I'm not George Bush. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm not the decider and thinker. It's not up to me. It's also I think music and art. It's just so subjective. What I
Yeah.
might like don't mean the right person didn't get to see something like there that some connection was made there. I just find it easy. The more I've done it, the easier it gets. It's so simple to just support
That's
online, especially. Like it can be hard to get
yeah.
out. You can't go catch every show. We all got families. I couldn't have been doing what I'm doing now when our kids were real little. Our kids are, our kids are adults. So
Hmm.
you just do what you can. Go when you can. Support in whatever way you can. And it's really in our area. Social media is almost really the most important thing we can do because not a lot. We're not like a destination or nothing. We're at best we're a pass through for other creatives and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
we just
Yeah,
try to get it out there.
I think our even just like this podcast and the way I've been doing videos and then like paying attention to other people. We've been doing stuff for like the past 10 years here and there and it's been spotty, but you can tell the like social media aspect is starting to catch up. And I didn't
Yeah,
realize it was technically behind until like about like a year ago or so. I was like,
yeah,
everybody's here is still using social media, a little more personally, and that's like you can, and it's
yeah,
like, but they'll still like put out all their details and all their dirt, and it's
yeah.
like that's not how you use social media.
No,
It's not,
no. They
and
get some screenshots going like, look at that.
oh
All
yeah,
the tags.
yeah, I'd be lying if I didn't read all the dirt.
I've been entertained many times
Yeah,
on
yeah, I
some of
sip
those
the tea,
places.
dude.
I
But
want to know. I want to know what's going on. I mean, I'm inquisitive. I want to know.
yeah, being online and going out in public and supporting these people is the best ways to, just wherever they are, wherever they're posting, support
Yeah.
them and show up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, you
I mean,
said
because you just don't know. We all got social media. Our reaches spread. I mean, especially if we're trying to, I'm kind of the belief now. You really need it more now than previously because I don't think they're going to give us any of us much reach without figuring out a way to jump them algorithms. And a lot of times they just want you to flat out pay at this point.
yeah. And
But
if you notice probably like a lot of the feed that you see, um, even though this is like these are free platforms, the videos you're being suggested are people out in LA, dude. Like even when
yeah,
it just comes to like shorts and stuff, it's like I'd
yeah,
say at least like 70% of everything you see is like LA and then the rest is so scattered. So it's like what
yeah,
are the chances of our stuff actually reaching somebody in LA?
yeah.
It's very slim.
Very slim. And even if we put money into it, it's going to be very slim because that's just
Yeah,
they're going to make us pay for any reach.
that's the next level. Yeah, you have to start sinking in money, then you got to probably start traveling over there. You got to go to LA
Yeah,
to make content as an Ohio person. Now you're just an LA guy making content.
absolutely. And that's where as a community, everybody was more supportive of each other. That's how you can,
Yeah.
you can kind of try to find a way into that algorithm.
You said supporting people gets easier the more and more you do it, even if it starts hard. The more and more you do it, it just gets easier and it
Yeah.
becomes second nature. Um, doing
Yeah.
stuff
See
like
it, I
that.
share it. You
Yeah,
know, I see
doing
it.
stuff like that will
Yeah.
probably help us like actually do something I've kind of been like pitching as like it's not an agenda or anything, but I've said it during like public speaking and stuff that we need instead of like everybody I see so many like hope stories about people like, oh, someone got accepted into like American Idol from Ohio and they're from Portsmouth or something. It's like, how about we bring, you know, Hollywood to us or, some sort of
Yeah.
not that we need them or want them, but we want to display our entertainment in it. Like
That's,
we have entertainment.
yeah, because there's plenty. I mean, you know, I mean, there's been so many talented people around here that we got to figure out a way to shine the light on that. I don't, you know,
Hmm.
and I think it's about us all just supporting each other. I mean, I don't think it's real complicated. But yeah, there's so much talent that we got to shine a light on. There, like musically, from my world, it's they already been paying attention to like Eastern Kentucky, anyways. We just need them to look a little bit more west. But just creative art in all of its forms. You know, it's there's plenty of it here. We're 2 hours away from anything, and even those places aren't necessarily hubs. You know, they're
Yeah. I think our closest one actually is I just learned this past like year or two is Cincinnati is like
yeah,
actually a good spot for where agencies and stuff are at.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
I
you
can
like
remember. I won't get into detail, but they had the or because Larry Flint or whatever was from down there.
Mhm.
I remember, or I can just always remember back to that real risque art thing from like 1990. I was like 12 or something. But I won't even go into detail. But there was some wild stuff. I don't know if you know the
Barely.
art show I was talking about. I'll shoot you a link sometime. It was like guys with bullwhips stuck within them and stuff like that. Artistically done. It was, but they held it in Cincinnati as a free speech thing because of Larry Flint being from there.
Yeah, if you want, we can even put it in the ARTBOX community.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
if
yeah, yeah, for
if
sure.
if that's something, yeah, I don't mind. I'll have to give it a glance.
Yeah, yeah, it was, I ain't seen it in 30 some years, but I guess it's about time for another go with that
Yeah,
picture.
yeah. If you find a link or something, send it my way, and I'll drop it in the community for you guys.
Yeah, yeah, I'll find what that link was. It was called something. It was some famous, you know, risque artist and pushing free speech. It was like a free speech thing. It was challenged at the time. I can't remember what the Supreme Court of law. It was absolutely one of the things that was challenged, and that was in Cincinnati.
Well, we got shoot, just off the rip. There's I kind of wear some hats. Not going to talk about me. Uh, we got you. You play tons of music. We just talked about the Wistmans. We know Stephen Freebird. We know all kinds of people. Nikki, she swallows uh flaming swords.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Nathan
talent
Noble,
down
he
here.
just let the door floors down there walking, walking on glass. I can't remember what all Nathan does. He does all kinds of wild stuff too.
Yeah, he let my brother stand on. Okay, so for Sweeted Die Hard, we were just gonna like he was like promoting it. I wasn't there for this. Vinny went to the show. Nathan offered to lay his head on glass while Vinny stood on his
Stepped
head.
on it.
Yeah, and gave the promo for, hey, our movie's gonna be out this week. Come on down and see it. And it lasted like a full minute. So he was on dude's face on the glass for a full minute or so. Nathan's he's a badass dude. That's some good
He's
stuff.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, I think it was either one her youngest daughter or one of her friends that had to stand on his face down at the one of the warehouse shows or something one of the times.
Oh yeah. He he also did like he ran barefoot in glass during Sweeted Die Hard and he did the controlled fire for the rooftop explosion. So
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right, that's right.
yeah. In the documentary you can see him up there talking a little bit.
Yeah,
But
yeah, he's a sweetheart.
yeah. So yeah, needless to say, that's just some people we've mentioned. My brother, filmmaker. Um, I know Shane DePriest, is in While We Wait. There's that band While We Wait. Plenty of rappers, Cozy. Um, these are also like kind of foreshadowing. Like there's people I want to get on here, like Cozy.
Yep,
Um,
yep, yep.
I've got a full list of people I'm working through, and you were second. If everything works out right, this could be a little teaser for next episode. My brother is supposed to be the next guest, so that should be fun.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah, I didn't want to front load a podcast with my brother. That's easy pickings.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we've done maybe like 200 podcasts before, so
Yeah. Yeah, go
um,
back to them rappers, man. I was telling them a while back, man. I always dig the way they seem to be supportive. But Cozy, I dig Cozy. I ain't got to meet him yet. I told him we've talked a couple of times, like I have to link up, but I want to get
yeah.
him because these shows, like when we book some shows, I like to have kind of mixed genres and stuff like that. I'd love to have him on like a show and somebody
Oh
does
yeah.
what I do, and maybe something harder or whatever. Comedy, I like to have comedy part of Sweet D, Dave Perry. I don't know if you know him or not. He's
Um, I think I got to see one of David's, and then I also just learned that my last guest, Austin, he used to do he used to do stand-up comedy at like restaurants and stuff. So I like that'd be cool to get him back in the loop of some comedy. He asked me if I've ever
absolutely.
done it. I've given it a consideration. So maybe we'll start seeing some more comedians. I was talking about that like a year ago. I think Kevin Myers was the like last person I had
Yep.
seen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me too. Or Dave. Yeah,
yeah. And then
Dave.
then I found out about Dave and Austin since then. So I was like, okay, maybe it's coming back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That'd be. I think it's just so fun to have them type of guys on the show. It just makes sense. I mean, if it's a show, it's a show. Like have
that's
comedians, and that's always went hand in hand, anyways. Music and comedy, like those
yeah,
kind of tours were common back in the day. So
that's probably the
we
most.
just actually went up to I've been to three comedy shows about like that wasn't like our local friends and stuff that are doing it too, but like what you consider big comics, famous comics. But when I was like 11, for some reason, my family thought it was cool to take me to see Sam Kinison. So I seen Sam Kinison live when I was a little kid in Virginia Beach. Got to see old Shane Gillis about a year and a half ago.
Nice.
And then we just went up this past Wednesday and watched Starry Shafir up in Columbus.
Yeah, I think that's the most like niche thing probably around here is there's not really not that's a little a market to be tapped into around here is the comedian era, you know.
Yeah.
And like you
Forgot that
say,
guy just did a show with, Austin Rice?
I know the name. I've seen the name online.
Musician, played with a lot of great musicians. They know, I think he lives more up north now, but he's buddies with that Henry Allen, who I think's from here. But Henry Allen's an absolute professional comedian. That's funny. But I mean, just does whatever. They just did the show down in Oddfellows this past Saturday, and then they came in Steins afterwards when our show was in there. And
See, I
I
may
told
not.
that guy that, man, I want to reach out. He told me to reach out to him. I want to know kind of what his price range is, and have, guys like that come down. And all these other local comedians get to see somebody doing that, how they're going to pick their brain. Because none of us know nothing about that world. But that'd be a
Yeah,
good source for them guys. And kind of seeing somebody that's funny is very funny. They could literally pick his brain on, well, not literally, that's the wrong word. Don't pick his brain, literally. But pick his brain.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm a big comedy junkie. Well, we're doing, even this spot I'm in now, we're setting up a spot to do. I'm going to have it set up for music. It's just so I can turn some switches on and make me some videos so I don't have to set everything up all the time. And then going here, I don't think I can write comedy. I'm sure I can. I'm just we're talking about my trouble with writing music. I couldn't probably do it long. I could tell stories or something like that. But I like to read, not write comedy. But yes, I do plan on doing a lot of goofy stuff in here. And of course, if you see stuff I do, I'm okay. Well, I had a pretty comment today. So, well, it's good to see the room will, the background will look good and the room will get canceled. And I do like to probably get a little too raunchy at times, but I'm just into that real dark stuff.
I just listened to the first episode of Talking Tunes with
Oh, yeah,
Sean
yeah,
and
yeah.
Kev.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
So it seems like we got a few people getting their stuff set up, man,
There-
getting going.
There's a
Maybe I'll,
and the more the merrier. I mean, that's a good thing. I was just on, did an interview with them guys at BT TV. Um,
yeah.
Especially about a month ago, I came down with COVID. I keep getting sick every time I'm supposed to do a podcast. Evidently, theirs was in person, so like if I had COVID now, I could still do this. That's the only reason I'm sure this ain't COVID because I just had it like 3 weeks ago or whatever.
Cursed.
Um, your brother wasn't subject to pod.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
lot
they're
of
going to be
folks.
busting that out next week now. I just saw the new
Yeah,
date. Hopefully
moved it.
they're yeah. So if you guys get a chance, tune into that because that's going to be live streamed. So you'll have to check out Subject to Change on
Oh,
YouTube.
So they're going to live stream it.
Yes. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, I like the live. You don't know what's going to happen.
You might see I won't be there, but you might see a cameo from somebody or hear a cameo from somebody. Yeah, I did a few parts for their upcoming podcast.
Cool,
So
cool, cool.
I'm all over the place, baby.
Hey, that's okay. We got just got to get out there. We got to constantly get out there.
Yeah, and that's one of the things hopefully I get through ARTBOX myself is that like I said, I was like, oh, comedy is probably more of a niche around here because it's such a small pocket. But I don't know everybody. I don't know every comedian or writer out there, or
Yeah,
even just in my own town. And
yeah, absolutely.
the older we get, new creatives come in. So I mean,
Yeah,
creativity doesn't really have an age gap like that in a sense to
yeah.
where like yeah we can all support each other and I love seeing new stuff and more people.
Oh, yeah. It's like not. Yeah, they like. Well, I'm doing this. I don't want no one else to do it. Only I'm allowed to do it. They just don't make no sense. There's
Yeah.
plenty of minutes in the day. Like I knew my Spotify numbers last year. Not even counting my YouTube, which is big. I think I had total on spot just to prove the point about how little music I listen to as a musician, which is probably why I was thinking maybe that's why the show's a little bit more unique because I just that's a little weird. But I had like 215,000 minutes on Spotify,
Nice.
and like 180 some thousand of them were podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
But now, or even while I'm sleeping, it just never stops because I don't want to hear the voices in my head, so I always have podcasts on.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, with the way I've
yeah,
been
there's plenty of room for
editing,
everybody to create.
I edit nonstop and I like read and listen nonstop. It sometimes it feels like media nausea. And sometimes I'll hear my own damn voice in the edit too much.
Yeah,
Yeah. um Well, I think we've covered a good bit of ground here, man. I definitely have some other topics I would like to hit up, maybe for another episode. Um,
absolutely.
but before we go, is there anything that you would like to promote that's coming up? Do you have any songs coming out, or do you have any shows coming up?
Well, we've got shows coming up right now. We have The Awakening this weekend up in Piketon at the fairgrounds. It's kind of like it's the Awakening Expo. It's kind of hippie type of festival. It's fun. We'll be playing. Love Disc will be there. The Arc Band out of Columbus, like a reggae band. They're awesome, awesome to watch. The following week, I think we're playing food the food truck festival down Tracy Park. That's really there's stuff coming up after that. I think we'll be one I ain't supposed to say yet, but then May like the two or the what's it called the Grove or the Country Fest. The Country Fest coming up. That's in May. It's you follow me on my social medias, whoever's there, just follow me on my YouTube, my Facebook, my Instagram. Just look for this dude who looks like a big head like this, the Burger King King.
Yeah,
Song wise, we got something that's almost done. I gotta go retrack some vocals. That's the same song I think that you did for me. It was something about you.
hmm
We're doing like a studio version of that. So
nice.
hope to
Yeah,
have it out here
if
sometime soon.
if you guys haven't seen that yet, I got the chance to do a musical feature of Daniel of DJ.
That was correct. That's my name for sure.
I went super yeah, I went super proper on that one. Daniel. Uh if you get a chance, go check that out. I think we only got one song out of that one because of the wind and stuff,
The
but
wind was wild.
yeah. I
Yeah,
have the other footage.
yeah.
It, you'll actually be in the next documentary, by the way. There's our interaction with me picking up your
Oh
uh
yeah, yeah,
that's all on
yeah.
camera. Me up front and personal Jesus is like right next to the speaker, and it's a good scene that I want to put in there. So look forward to that,
Cool.
everyone. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
we'll drop some of those links to the events that you have coming up in the ARTBOX community. Obviously, you're a very busy guy. I'm not going to tell you you have to do it every time, but if you want to, you are welcome to drop them in ARTBOX. Anytime I see them, I'll drop them in there if I can. And
I definitely, I'll drop them in there. I got to learn how get this stuff going. So
that's all it is. Is the ARTBOX community is a group on Facebook that we've had probably for about a year now. It was in preparation of this podcast, and anytime you want, you can go there and resource. local creatives from around here, and there's other people from out of town too. It's starting to grow. I think we're almost at like 200
Yeah.
people in the community, and you can also put your own stuff in there, so you can either advertise. I wouldn't spam the group with your the
Yeah.
same link every time, but like as soon as you got a new video, throw it up, and we'll
Yeah.
try to spike that view count as much as we can. All right, man. Well, I had a good time talking to you, and I look forward to another episode, man.
Ditto, good sir. Look forward to it.
All righty. You take it easy, brother.